Now, this is a different type of source. So as we go through this, we're looking specifically at this is a letter. So there's going to be certain components that have to be present for this to be a letter. Once again, different type of source. This is called a primary source. This is a letter to Maria Clemm, okay, and it was written by Edgar Allan Poe himself. So, preparing to read. In the summer of 1835, the 26-year-old Poe was working in Richmond, Virginia, and sending some of his meager paycheck, about $10 a week, to help support his aunt, Maria Clemm, and her 13-year-old daughter, Virginia, in Baltimore. Then Poe received a letter from his aunt saying that a cousin, Nielsen Poe, had offered to educate and support Virginia in his home. Poe's reply to his aunt expressed what he thought of this proposed engagement. Focus your reading. Primary source, letter. Letters, diaries, newspaper articles, and other first-hand accounts are called primary sources. When you read such a document by a historical figure, look for evidence of the author's personality or for details that can provide insights about his or her work. Also, look for reflections of the times he or she lived in. So things that we're going to find if this is a letter. First, it's going to be addressed to someone. We can look at it in terms of how it is addressed. Looking at this. How is this addressed? Okay, my dearest auntie. Okay, look at that. What does this type of address mean? Okay, what kind of relationship does this imply? I would say that this is a close relationship, okay, and it is obviously personal. When we're seeing it as we see dearest, and we also see auntie. This isn't something very formal, okay? This is going to imply that you are close with the individual, that you have an intimate and personal relationship so that you are able to see this. Now, we want to look at exactly what this reflects about Edgar Allan Poe. Remember, he's 26 years old, and he's a man at this time in 1835, and there are certain expectations of men at this time. He is expected to be a provider. He is 26 years old, and he is starting to get to the age where he's expected at this point to be looking to get married sometime soon and to carry on with his family line. So, August 29th, my dearest auntie, I am blinded with tears while writing this letter. I have no wish to live another hour. Amid sorrow and the deepest anxiety, your letter reached me, and you well know how little I am able to bear up under the pressure of grief. My bitterest enemy would pity me. Could he now read my heart? My only hold on life is cruelly torn away. I have no desire to live and will not, but let my duty be done. I love, I love Virginia passionately, devotedly. I cannot express in words the fervent devotion I feel towards my dear little cousin, my own darling. But what can I say? Oh, think for me, for I am incapable of thinking. All my thoughts are occupied with the supposition that both you and she will prefer to go with Poe. I do sincerely believe that your comforts will, for this present, be secured. I cannot speak as regards your peace, your happiness. You have both tender hearts, and you will always have the reflection that my agony is more than I can bear. That you have driven me over to the grave, for love like mine can never be gotten over. It is useless to disguise the truth that when Virginia goes with N.P., that I shall never behold her again. That is absolutely sure. Pity me, dear auntie, pity me. I have no one now to fly to. I am among strangers, and my wretchedness is more than I can bear. It is useless to expect advice from me. What can I say? Can I in honor and in truth say, Virginia, do not go. Do not go where you can be comfortable and perhaps happy. And on the other hand, can I calmly resign my life itself? If she had truly loved me, would she not have rejected the offer with scorn? Oh, God, have mercy on me. If she goes with N.P., what are you to do, my own auntie? I had procured a sweet little house in a retired situation on Church Hill, newly done up, and with a large garden and every convenience at only $5 a month. I had been dreaming every day and night since of the rapture I should feel in having my only friends, all I love on earth, with me there, and the pride I would take in making you both comfortable, and in calling her my wife. But the dream is over. Have mercy on me. What have I to live for, among strangers with not one soul to love me? Adieu, my dear auntie. I cannot advise you. Ask Virginia. Leave it to her. Let me have under her own hand a letter bidding me goodbye forever, and I may die. My heart will break, but I will say no more. E.A.P. Kiss her for me 1,000,000 times. So how you want to think here about how does Edgar Allan Poe react and what kind of things does he say in reaction to how does he feel, okay? How does he feel about this concept of Virginia? Now remember, our Edgar Allan Poe is 26. Okay, so he is of the age where he's going to start thinking of marriage. Virginia, who is also his cousin, is only 13. And he does talk about making her his wife. Now, the age of 13 sounds very young to us. And although it is rather young in general, in this specific time, individuals would start to be looking towards marriage at 13, 14 years. The way that you could look at it in terms of when a girl was to start looking at marriage, it's by the time that she is starting her first menstruation is when she should be looking to get married. And the further back you go, the younger that girls would be married, and they would often be married before their first menstruation in order to ensure that the only possible father to her children would be the husband at that point. Remember how much times have changed. So looking at these questions, you are assigned all 3, 1, 2, and 3.